I know. I was so excited not to hate this one.
I was so excited when I was like, I don't hate it.
I know. I that was part of my. I was really good on this one. And I've already done my review, which I can.
We're live, by the way.
Modify.
So we're good.
Yeah, I just got it. But yeah, I was just like, I was really nervous to pick up this book because I really hated The Lost Apothecary, but it was so good. And I'm really struggling with what to rate it because I feel like 4 is too low, but 5 is too much. And I would do 4.5, but I'm like, did I like it enough for 4.5? Is it just a 4?
Like I told you, my problem was the ending. Like, pacing of the whole thing was just off.
I mean, I audiobooked it and I was on 2. I was gonna say 2.5. That is not. I do not go that far.
I was on 1.8.
1.8.
I feel like long time no see. I was just part of another live that she was on. So.
Oh, so cool. But yeah, I wanted to be. I started it more about 1.5, and then I kicked it up to 1.75, and then I think I told you. So I started listening to this when I was really tired, and I like the first 2 chapters. I hated it. I was like, I'm pretty good. Sure, I'm going to end up rage reading this. Hey, Liz.
Hi, Liz.
But then I just sat down. I got a good night's rest and listened and really
the
kind
first
of
couple chapters were hard to get into.
Yes.
Like, I'm not saying it was a bad book. I'm just saying, like, the first couple chapters, I was like, what's going on? So
yeah. Didn't really know how I felt about it for a
while. I
while.
The mystery part of it. It was just
yes.
The mystery part of it was top notch.
Yes.
But then they did the crazy ending, and I was like, but why? Like
you didn't see it coming, sort of. Okay. I mean, if you like The Lost Apothecary, you should like this one. In theory, I always say that. Oh yeah, someone's gonna love this.
And it's the same audiobook narrators, by the way.
Is it? Okay. I couldn't remember. Yeah, and I didn't mind the dual timeline. And I think for this one, because in the first book that we read, The Lost Apothecary, I was always way more interested in like the past
timeline.
Past timeline. Thank you. I was just like, what am I trying to say? I've had 2 sips of this, and I haven't yet.
The girl in this our 2007 timeline. I was like, I'm in Lost Apothecary. I wanted to punch her every time she got on page. I was like, you're stupid. Like.
But it was always just I was so much more interested. Maybe she just fleshed it out better, like the historical aspect of it. I honestly can't remember much of The Lost Apothecary other than
I DNF'd that
care
chapter
for the
4.
new person or the present time lady.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one I
kind of wish it was longer, just a little bit, because I feel like the ending was so rushed.
Yeah, I see that.
Like maybe and I'm not talking like another 100 pages. I'm talking like maybe 20 to 30 more pages. Just
a chapter or 2, just to give it a a little bit more. Yeah. Did you see the ending coming at all?
I had a feeling.
Spoiler alert, everybody! We're starting at the end. Sorry.
Spoiler. But I had the feeling the person was involved.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, at first I was just like, oh, this is going to end up being a good guy. Like, not a problem whatsoever. And I was suspicious of the other person that was in the room. I'm going to try and keep it non-spoilery for most people so that they can stay enough. But for those that have read it, if you know, you know. So yeah, when it happened, like once we started to get about 3/4 of the way through, I started to get super suspicious, and I was like, what are the odds that it's going to be flipped and that it's going to be this person that's not so good? And I still thought that the other guy, I was like, oh, they're probably in cahoots, because he just never gave me a great vibe throughout the book. So I was pleasantly surprised that he wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Didn't care about the American. Oh, what is his name? I always call him Mr. V because I can't. Because I audiobooked
Baudelaire
or not.
Baudelaire.
Oh no! I'm sorry. He's the one with the M guy, Mr.
Oh, hold on. Hold on.
M. The Mr. V was the guy that died.
Yeah, in the beginning.
Way in the beginning. Hey everyone, I haven't read this one, but it's on my TBR.
Hi,
Hey,
Jen.
happy Tuesday. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Shannon. Perfect segue. You knew just what to do. So this is our last Tuesday because we are moving back to Wednesdays. Wow, that came out way bigger than I thought it was. That's what she said.
It's
Anywho.
okay. Way
Yeah,
bigger
so even
Wednesdays.
we're going back. And it's not going to be just because you're here. I know that this is crazy early, but Shannon, in the event that you
Morley,
have to
Mr. Morley.
dip Morley, Mr. Morley,
Morley.
okay. In the event that you have to dip out at any point, just know that the next book club is 2 weeks from tomorrow because we're going back to Wednesdays.
Yes.
So just want to throw that out there for you just because you're back and you're here for the moment. We will show all of that again. So everyone that was just like, whoa, you put that up way so fast. It's all in the description
Look at
box
Pat's
below.
comment. Go down to Pat's comment.
It's oh, that's right. You're the vampire. I never remember these things. I was just like, I knew Pat comes in occasionally. Honestly,
like 2
I'm
hours ago it was
horrible
11
with
p.m. for
people.
her. I was like, girl, I
Oh,
don't know how you do it.
that's dedication. I can't stay up that late.
We
I can wake up
appreciate
early.
you.
Yes, appreciation for you popping in. What would that be? So I think you're 8 hours ahead of us right now. So it's got to be 2 a.m. where you're at.
She's
Oh
in
my
the UK.
gosh.
Yeah, she's in the UK.
Yeah, I think it's 2 hours. I think it's 8 hours you guys are ahead now.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where I left off, so I'm going to go back to this. Oh, we did. Mr. Morley, we got it. All right. Tuesday, quick hi. It's Wednesday for me. Oh, we're back on track. We're not as far
We're
behind as I
good.
thought it
No.
was. For now, I mean, who knows? My schedule could go crazy.
Well,
But I will.
Question because I know you're doing the class again. Are you still gonna have Wednesdays?
So I won't have Wednesdays off, but because I get off at 2 p.m., it won't factor into us being able to
it won't
meet.
affect it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Gotcha.
get to work at 5:30 a.m., which you're all probably like, that's super crazy, Jen. Why would you do that? I actually volunteered for that shift because in my mind, I was like, if I start at 5:30 a.m., I get off at 2 p.m., I can take a quick power nap, and then I have
You
the
can
rest
do
of
a
the day.
cat nap.
So yeah, cat naps are going to be a thing. Yes, thank you so much. Vampire Pat. Everything is catching up at 2:06. I could wake up at 2:06 if I have to go to a flight somewhere, but to stay awake. I mean, I guess I used to do that for midnight shows and everything. Back when those were a thing, but then they catered to the grandma and me and they started being like, okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and do it at 7 p.m. and I'm like, perfect, I can be in bed by 10. It's
Yep.
glorious.
I've turned into such a grandma. I'm like, I don't need it anymore.
100%. Yes, I am drinking Guinness out of a wine glass. No, I have not had
No
dinner, so
judgment.
this might not last long. But yeah. So yeah, Mr. Morley, I agree. His chapters, I was more interested
At
in his
first, he was
chapters.
interesting.
Yeah, he was interesting at first, and then he turned really weird.
Well, that was the one part that I was like, I think I mentioned it to you. Like, I felt weird about the tit for tat with Evie and him.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean,
liked
I
Evie.
understand why she did it. Like, I'm not judging. It just felt weird.
Yeah.
Reading in a couple of the chapters, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I didn't like
that was before I knew that he was awful. So
yeah.
I'm just like,
And I didn't necessarily love all the stuff in the brothel because even though like she fully consented to it, it just is gross. I don't like it. That's a Jen thing. I know that they happen, but yeah. It is. Thank you. I have a Guinness glass too. I should just use that, but had to be extra. But this is my cat is my therapist, or my therapist has whiskers mug. I don't know if you can read it. I don't know how far I can tip it forward.
Cute.
There we go. Oh, it's too fun. And then I have my Mind the Gap t-shirt. I was like, I can go full London. Like, I've got a bunch of stuff. I should have got my little thing to put up here. That didn't pan out.
You know what kills me? Like, they talked about France more than actually London.
This is true. We're going to have a cat sighting here in a moment if she'll make her way. She's being very whiny, so you are going to hear her lots.
I just
She
say
ran away, but
I ended up not liking anybody. Like,
no.
they were all kind of just a-holes.
I mean, I kind of liked. I actually really was. It came as a surprise to me, and I weirdly really enjoyed it. With is her name Lena? See, this is the problem with audiobooks. Nothing
Lena
sticks.
and Vaudeline is the French chick.
Yeah, I kind of weirdly loved them together. I was like, hooray, you two are so cute. And then when we thought that she was the bad, like a bad person, I was like, no, I was,
I would have
I
been
was
really
rooting for you
pissed if that's
guys.
how it ended.
I know.
I would have
Oh,
been really pissed.
127 books? What? That's so many.
Oh my
I think
god,
I barely
I'm only at 50 for the year so
I'm at
far.
34, but I'll tell you, I knew that this year was going to be a slow reading year for me only because my goal was to like I think I've said this a million
Physically
times,
read
so I'm
more?
sorry to be a broken record, but physically read more ebooks, physical books. I've actually read a couple of my special books subscription box rather than just displaying their pretty spines or edges, but I'm doing the work. It's slow going. Um,
I'm trying to do more books that I own. Like, I'm trying to read my owned
Same.
TBR more.
Yeah. That's okay, Liz, because I actually like this one more than the first one, so it's
Yeah,
still redeemable.
it's okay.
And it's always good to pick other things. I mean, I honestly stick to pretty much the same genre all the time. So anytime
Yeah,
you guys have
wait till
suggestions,
August. And then you're gonna be like, but it's fantasy, so you'll be fine.
oh yeah, you're on your channel, The Drowned Kingdom, a
Yeah,
Drowned Kingdom, a
yeah.
Drowned
And he sent me the mock up for book 4.
Kingdom.
The
Ooh,
what he thinks the cover is gonna be for book 4.
all right, nice. Um, But yeah, I did not mind this one at all. It redeemed Sarah Penner in I think that's how you say her last name, in my
Yeah,
eyes. Just because I didn't like her modern day stuff. So if she writes more like of a historical timeline,
she would not like
I'll
that.
be
Honestly, I
interested.
wish she would just stick with historical fiction because that's what she's good
Yeah,
at. It was the modern timeline in Lost Apothecary that bothered me.
that undid me. Yeah. All right. So sorry, I'm reading back because I was kind of curious. You said you didn't like this one as much. Was it just because the male chapters characters didn't do much for you, or was there anything specific where you were just like, nah? I'm curious now. What did you win? Exactly. Pace yourself.
Hmm. It just seems like I've read more this year, but I looked at
Mm.
my Storygraph and Goodreads goal, and it's like you're at 50, and I'm like, how? I feel like I've been reading more this year than the past couple of
Agreed.
years combined.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like I've also gotten into some slumps. I need to like do more hybrid reads because I have a lot of audiobooks that I also physically own or own an ebook of. So I
Hmm.
really need to get better about doing that. It's just, I don't know,
Yeah.
for some reason outside of book club, the passion to read sometimes is not there. If buy it, I own it. Does that count? I mean, yeah, that counts. I'll give it to
Yeah.
you.
Mhm.
Nicole, hey, we've
Hi.
already talked about the end, so you're fine. Where'd you
You're
get up to?
okay.
Tell us your thoughts so far. Yes, exactly. I didn't finish the book, but I got 50%. Did I read that already and thought that it's the Guinness, guys? The Guinness got me.
No, you read that in your head thinking you said it out
Oh,
loud first. I do it all the time. You're good.
Lincoln Highway. Oh man, Lincoln Highway. I think I'm thinking of a different book. I
I'm
think I'm.
actually getting a copy through Book of the Month, so I'm actually going to
Oh,
read Lincoln Highway soon.
nice. Is that a newer book or is that something?
It came out a year ago. It was like the Book of the Month for the year last year. Not 2022, 2021.
2021. I think I read that one. Nicole, tell me if that's the one that we read for the oh my gosh, the traveling book club. Oh, the annotated book club. There we go. I was like, words are needing to be stringed together, and Jen is just on the struggle bus today. I
And
feel
I
like this is
actually
in her
ordered
life.
a physical copy of Devil in the White City because I've never owned it. I listened to it on audio.
Ah, okay, okay. Oh, hold on, real fast. I'm intrigued, but it's pretty slow. I mean, what are
And
you
it's only
listening to it at?
350 pages. It doesn't make like that's what I mean by like the pacing it fell off. Like I like the story, just the pacing was off for me.
I mean, maybe it's because I was listening to that 2 speed, and I was also, yes, the Traveling Annotated Book Club. But what was the one with like the Lincoln, and they had all those different characters? It was really weird, but it
Lincoln
ended
and the
up being
Bardo?
pretty good. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
not Lincoln Highway.
That's not
Okay,
George Saunders.
yeah, I knew I had a feeling it wasn't the same one, but I was
I
kind of
loved
curious.
Lincoln and the Bardo. Like, but I
I,
listened to it on audio and there was multiple narrators. So I think
yes, that I did like.
the
I
audio was
audiobooked it.
fantastic.
The audiobook saved it for me. Nicole's saying hi to everybody. Catch up. Um. Oh, it's his newest. Okay, about a year
Yeah.
ago. I'll have to look into it.
And I also have the other one that he did, The Rules of Civility. I got that as I found that at a used bookstore. So I grabbed it.
Oh, okay, okay. Yeah, I've got a million books I gotta read, so
Well, and your birthday's coming up, so you're gonna get some more from me.
I know. Pick ones that we can buddy read together. I mean, everything that's on that's our schedule. And I actually think I put the description below with what books to expect for the rest of the year. I don't think I put dates to October, November, just because I'm still trying to Jenga that into place. But yeah. Um
Yeah,
honestly,
I like this one. I just thought it was like I don't want to say convenient with the ending, but the ending seemed convenient a little.
mhm. I like the line
Or
though where
like
you
you get
don't
all
piss
this
off.
build up and then you realize you have 30 pages left and blah, 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 and that's how it ends. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, wait, what?
Oh. Yeah, I did the Devil in the White City. I don't think I've read anything else by him. Um, but yeah, Alicia, you're right. I think the end was really rushed. But for me, I mean,
I
I
like the
had
story. The last two chapters, I was like, what the hell is happening?
I had like 60% when I started this morning. So 2 speed seemed to speed things right up. So
Yeah.
if you read it slow, find an audiobook, kick it up a notch, and you're good to go. Um, I'm trying to think of specifics since I didn't anything specific to talk about.
It was just like there were so many names for not that many characters in the book.
Yeah, agreed.
That was what kind of bugged me. I'm like, who is this? And
And
then,
that's
and then with the seance at the end, they were like, she was saying this, but as this person, and I'm just like, wait, what?
yeah, I got a little confused with who is who. And I think that might have been an audiobook thing. I don't know if they have because sometimes like they'll have different text or they'll all italicize something.
And the
I
names were
know
all similar. That's what was throwing me off too.
oh, that yeah,
Like
true.
the guy that ran the London Seance Society before the Mr. Morley guy was a Mr. V, and then
Yeah.
there was Valdeline who was V, and then the chauffeur guy was a name with a V, and I'm just like, come
I
on.
did like the chauffeur guy.
He
I
was my
I
favorite.
wanted there to be more with him though, because the
Yes,
fact that he
he was
spoiler
more
alert, Nicole,
interesting.
pause yourself. The fact that he wasn't deaf or blind. No. The deaf or
Deaf
mute,
or mute.
right? Mute. Okay, I
It
was
was
like,
deaf or
he
mute.
wasn't blind. He had to be able to see. Um, I love that. I wanted there to be so much more with that, but then
And
no. And honestly, in the
like
carriage
how he was
ride,
trying to
as
do
they
the
were
right
going,
thing.
yeah, as they were trying to go to their death, she should have been like, I can't believe you did this. You should be going to jail. But then I guess maybe I understand. No, because the other copper guy, he wasn't there at the time.
He didn't
Ugh,
get there till the last two chapters of the damn book.
yeah, he name's very confusing.
No,
Yep.
they're very similar sounding last names. It's not even that they both start with V. They're just very similar French sounding last names.
Yeah. Some very names. It could have helped. Yeah. Oh my gosh, could you have imagined? Oh, Nicole read Isn't It Romantic? I know that this is not the live stream for that, but
Did
Nicole, if
you
you
love
want to put
it?
thoughts in, we can go into that. Um, I'm so curious to hear all the thoughts on that one. Um, Thanks, Liz, for a perfect transition back into that book club. Maybe I'll update the subscription being like, hey, this is this book and this
And
book.
more of this book.
Because yeah, I mean, there's not a ton to talk about.
If you want to go non-spoiler because Nicole's here and she's still reading.
I don't even think if we talk spoilers, if there'd be a ton more to say either. That's the struggle on this one.
I thought it was weird how all of a sudden she believed in everything because of the last 2 chapters.
Yeah.
That's where I was like, no.
You can't flip mid-book on that one. Like, you've
It's
got
not
to.
mid-book. It was like on page
the end of the
300
book.
and there's 50 pages left. I was like, what the hell?
Like, you got to stick to your guns a little bit more. If you don't believe in it, you don't believe in it. I wouldn't have been surprised if she didn't believe in it until the very end when she was what she was.
When she was.
If you've read it, you know.
When she was.
Yeah.
Speaking for someone else.
Yeah. But yeah.
I mean, that part was interesting. I just wish that wasn't so rushed because I wanted more with that.
Is it weird that I love the author's note at the end almost more than the book itself?
I know. And I love
I was like, that's so fascinating how you just came up with, like, these were your things, but it was based off of this. I honestly now want to know. And
there's a bibliography in the back of where she got the information that is true in the book.
Oh.
And there's a recipe guide in the back. There's a couple different recipes.
Yeah, they kept saying, like, go somewhere for a recipe guide. What is the recipe guide for? Okay. I'm just curious. Like, what is it?
Okay.
We can talk about it. Great.
One
she was
for
possessed.
There's one for making your own candles.
I feel like you could just Pinterest that. Keep going.
There's one for making your own candles. There's, where are we? Yeah, there's a whole 2 pages of further reading where she got the inspiration. Okay. Victorian mourning customs. So, like, when someone dies, there's when someone dies.
Oh, I guess we could talk about that and the brothel.
Yeah, Victorian funeral feastings, which is basically like a souped up biscuit recipe.
Interesting.
So Victorian funeral biscuits. They are half a cup of sugar, half a cup of salted butter, half a cup of molasses, half a cup of warm water, 2 tablespoons of minced ginger, and 2.5 cups of flour.
Interesting. I'd be
so I'm
curious.
Assuming it's a sweet,
like a scone, kind of. Sounds a little like a scone.
And then the one I kind of want to try is this Victorian hot punch. Half a cup of sugar, juice of a lemon, half a pint of boiling water, half a pint of rum, half a pint of brandy.
Oh my god!
And I wouldn't be able to stand.
Nutmeg. Pinches of nutmeg. Yeah, because the nutmeg's gonna really help even it out.
Yeah. I'm like that they should just call it on your ass punch because that's what you would need.
I've barely had 4 sips of my Guinness and I'm already
on your ass.
I will say, okay, so a spoiler towards the end, but I loved after the seance how she trapped both of the bad guys, Mr. V and Mr. M. Yeah, being like, okay, well, you fooled a bunch of people into believing X, Y, and Z. Like, you deserve to walk forever, just unable to
purgatory.
Move on. Yeah, like that's also terrible, but at the same time, I'm just like,
it's well deserved though, because they were pieces of shit.
Yeah. I'm glad that the sister was really able to mad,
like the fact that they were like. I mean, Nicole says we can spoil, so
yeah,
we're good. But
she's probably deciding whether she wants to read the last half of the book.
Okay, so the part
threw you under the bus
that pissed me off as a woman was them pretending that their husbands were telling them to move on so they can get their people. And
That was
I was like,
irritating.
no.
I don't even think if you talked, I mean, I've never been in love like that, but I couldn't imagine being like, oh, my husband wants me to move on, and he suggested this person.
This
I would be like,
person
okay,
who's
he
got
wants me to move
crazy
on.
gambling debt.
I'm gonna go ahead and just find someone myself. Thanks,
Yeah.
but I'll take your suggestion with a grain of salt and decide if I want that or not.
It was just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then they tried to redeem Mr. Morley with him having that facial scar
No,
thing.
he
And I was just
was
like,
a Batman. I mean, it played in their
which is my
favor.
wonderings if she took some like inspiration from Phantom of the Opera.
Oh, maybe.
Because of the
It could have
deformed
been.
face.
I think it's a good way. It was a good, I guess I should say, plot point to be able to get him to be manipulatable. Because if he had been like a handsome gentleman,
If he looked like Jason Momoa.
yeah, it would have been a little bit harder of a task for her to be able to sway him. Not to say that it couldn't be done,
Yeah.
but because he had his own like
Insecurities.
confidence issues, insecurities, exactly. It was more easy
Yeah.
to
I
take
don't like
that out.
that was the one scene before, like that was before we knew he was bad, but that was kind of the one scene that made me feel gross is when she actually had sex with him. I was like, yeah, you're doing it to get something out of it. It's kind of
For a second, I was really excited. I was just like, "Oh, these two are all together."
right.
And then,
Right.
like, he started to get shady, and I was just like, "Oh, I don't think she's doing it for good reasons. You two are not going to be together."
You two are
Just,
like, but I did think it was interesting that the first time you meet him, he's wearing her hat.
he was wearing her hat?
When he meets Vaudeline and Lena at the train station, he was wearing the cap that she wore when she pretended to be a guy.
Oh, yeah. I don't know if the sister had been wearing it, but it was at her house or something that she had seen before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you probably know better than I do. So yeah, if you're saying that he wore the hat,
Like,
I'm gonna go with
because
he
they
wore
had
the
very
hat.
similar looking hats, they accidentally took each other's.
Yeah.
So, and that's how she knew, like, he knew her because he was wearing her hat.
Yeah, true. What is my cat doing? My cat just got into a bag. Don't
You can
choke
hear the
yourself.
bag rustling.
I don't know what it is they like. They love to get inside of bags and just lick the inside of it. I'm like, what?
That's
What?
weird.
I just don't want her to be like stuck in a handle and like choke
Yeah.
herself. Oh, she's popped out of the bigger part, so we're safe there. Puddin', get out of there. What are you doing? She's not even. She doesn't know her name, so let's just be real. Why am I talking to her? It's a good question. No one will ever know. Oh no. Don't do it, girl. Sorry. I know that this is
You're fine.
not what
You're
we're
fine.
doing, but is she falling out? I think she's trying to lay inside the bag. It's a bag that's supposed to go to Goodwill, so I'm gonna have to make sure that she's out of it before I take it. I just also have to watch out because there's a wire very close to her. And we've had to invest in a lot of nylon corded wires because she likes to chew things. What cat likes to chew wires? And normally they're like these thin ones. Like that makes sense. Okay. And most of those are easily replaceable. But the one that she started to chew on was the one for the air purifier. And it's like a normal size cord, which is like wired into the device. So if you choose through that, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
She has now moved away from the bag. I'm back with you guys. No cats were harmed in the making of this video so far. This would actually make a good movie now that I'm thinking about it.
I think honestly that's why I think there was like this disconnect for me is I feel like it would look better on screen. You wouldn't have to
Ooh,
explain.
yeah. Cat entrapment. 100% accurate, yes. Ugh, I need to clean up in here. There's so much stuff. My current work schedule just doesn't leave time to like do a whole lot. I need to
Yeah.
redo my bookshelves. So hopefully the next time you see them, they'll be
Don't
100%
redo your
different.
bookshelf till after your birthday.
But I got to make room for some things because a lot of special editions came through. Whatever backup that the bookish box had, they fixed it because I'm getting
Which
literally
ones?
everything under the sun that I've ordered in like the last year. So they're coming in hard and
Did you
fast.
get the Jade City ones? The Jade City, Jade War, Jade Legacy.
Doesn't sound
I
familiar.
was gonna buy them from you if you did.
Jade City. When they come out? If you ever want one, let me know.
20 the initial, not for bookish box, but like the publishing date was 2020. The next one came out in 21, and then 2022, or the end of 21.
Did they do a special edition for those? I have not
I
heard of
think
these.
so. Well, that was one of the ones that they misspelled the author's name in the book.
Oh, no. You're talking about the Jack the Ripper series
Okay.
by Kerri Maniscalco, right?
I thought I read somewhere that they messed up the Jade City series somehow. Like there was a misprint or something.
Maybe. It could have been. They had a lot of issues, but
They
they have
had
a
a
new
lot, of
printer
course.
now. They have a new fulfillment center now. They have like editors that go through and like triple check formatting on everything. Things they
Yeah.
probably should have done before, but they are now they
Yeah.
are very much on top of things. Because before, like we're into almost July at this point, and I was still waiting for November, December stuff to come on in.
What the
And books
hell?
that I had ordered back in last July, but those are all here now.
What
I've
books?
got subscriptions through January, so I have February and March. I did, guys, be proud of me. I actually canceled one of my subscriptions because a lot of the why see this is why I like the bookish box. They tell you what book you're going to get, so it's not a mystery.
Yeah.
So you can decide whether you want it or if you want to skip it. So after so many books, I was just like, I really don't necessarily want these. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel for now, but I'm going to be prepared to jump back on it later. Um, my only other problem is that Fairy Loot decided that they were going to add a subscription for fantasy, adult
Yeah.
fantasy, and I was just
Which
like,
isn't really adult fantasy, because some of my friends that have it, they're like, these books aren't they're not bad books, they're just not fantasy books.
yeah. But if they're adulty and they've got some spice, Jen might be interested. Yeah, November.
Yeah.
I was really like severely debating just canceling all of them
I
with
might.
them until I started getting stuff. But then I was just they keep you informed. That's the thing. Not every
Yeah.
company will let you know, like, hey, there's been a delay. They've been really good about they have higher
Keeping you
expectations
in
that
the
they'll
loop.
get stuff. Yeah, but they keep you in the loop. And then for things that got like really far behind, they offered store credit. So there are some bonuses. I know that they've got a lot of flack for a million different things. I don't know all the stories. I honestly don't pay attention to all the bad things. I just go, look at this pretty book. So if you hate them, I'm sorry. I just don't pay attention to all the other things that go wrong. So yes.
But I did
Oh,
get both of those books that are in the, like, what do they call it? The Anatomy series?
bye, Nicole. Yeah. Oh, those books are so
Eh,
good. I actually have. That's what
well,
I should
I
start.
found them at a used bookstore. I got them for
How
like
cool
$15.
is that person's dress is a freaking brain, and the first book is a heart, and her dress does the same thing.
Yeah.
First book is really good.
If you want to buddy read those, I'm in.
I'd have to put them at the very beginning. Oh yeah, I mean we could buddy read them separate from this, but if you
Yeah.
guys are interested,
It's
definitely
and
let us know. Look it up. Paper shortage. I don't know if it was a paper shortage or if their distribution company was like overseas and then they had to
yeah.
have things shipped to you.
I remember
Shipping
one of them,
delays.
they had the wrong book. They had the wrong cover on the wrong book.
Wow.
Everybody was losing their minds on that one.
Yeah.
I think
And that's
it was one of the Diviners ones. It was one of like the Diviners from River
oh
Bray.
yeah. But that's like not something that they can necessarily control. Yes, they should have
Yeah.
caught it and then been like, hey, there was
You
an
should
issue
always
with
have someone to
printing.
double, triple check it, just in case. You
Yeah.
never know.
But that's the one thing that I hate about book boxes and just consumers in general, because the consumers are the worst. I'm going to tell you guys, we are the
But I wish
worst.
they didn't charge as much as they do for boxes.
That too.
Like,
But
that's
when
my thing.
something goes wrong, whether it's like planned or not, everybody lashes out. Like Fairy Loot had it the other day where they had I don't know, there was a special edition book that everyone wanted, but they had a limited supply and people were just vicious. And I'm like, hold on, like, slow your roll, people. Don't be terrible. Yeah, sleep on the job, probably. I mean, if you put the wrong cover on the wrong book, who's getting
Mm-hmm.
fired for that?
Someone
But yeah,
should.
it's not just the bookish box. Like the Fairy Loot people got it too. I felt so
Yeah.
bad. Like some of the comments, I go, you all need to just calm down. It's a book. If you get it, great. If you don't, well, it wasn't in the cards for you. Maybe that's the alcohol talking, but opinions. Jen has them occasionally. But yeah, no, this series was super good. I actually think that Liz would like this series. It's based in Scotland.
Is
That's
it?
not why I think that you would like it. But it was more, it's young adult, but it kind of plays like a fiction, like a historical fiction.
Well, I remember you saying you wanted to reread the Kerri Maniscalco series. I found the first two at a used. I found the first two at a used bookstore.
I won't force everyone to read that. I should probably put like a poll together somewhere and be like, I need you all to vote. But yeah, I know that she wasn't a fan of. Most people weren't a fan of her, and I don't know if that's because they were expecting more or they didn't like the mythology. We'll have to ask Nicole next time she's on. Excuse me.
Yes.
If she liked it, if she thinks that enough of us would like it. I mean, granted, at that point, it's our channel. We can do whatever we want. But
Yeah.
well, actually, it's her channel. But you kind of make the book picks and then hope that everybody likes it. So,
Yeah.
and I'm trying
It's
not
just.
to do too many series because it's just,
It's a
yeah,
lot.
there's 4 books and they're all out. But think about it. If you do a book in between each of those, that's
It's 2 months.
4 months. Well, if you do them back to back, yeah, it's 2
Yeah.
months. And that can we got to mix it up a little bit more. I want to throw
Yeah.
some stuff at all of us.
I want
So
to
if you guys
throw
just,
like some smut in there. I want to throw like, you know what I mean, like the short little smut, like the
yeah,
100-page smut. You know.
just a little bit, of course. And there's ways to do that too. Whoa, I scared my cat. This is the one that was in the bag. Let's see if I can get her. She's coming into the area. Here we go. Hey, bud. Say hi to everybody. Look how big you are. She says, please get off of me. Everyone, your cute face. You're just so cute. She says, oh, God. This is why I don't come over here. Please, here you go. Your brother's under the bed. Go see him. Just don't chew the wire. I never think about that now, and I'm like constantly terrified that she's just going to chew through something that's irreplaceable, which is not true. Everything can be replaced.
Yeah.
It's just inconvenient to have to replace it. I can't see where you're at, girl. What are you chewing? Okay, and she's moved away from enough wires. I'm good. But yeah, I would like to kind of mix it up a little bit. Try to do more themed books, like it was Pride Month. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised that we kind of had a little bit in this book. Not a whole lot, but just some.
There was a touch of it.
Yeah, and that I wasn't expecting at all. And it's not written anywhere because sometimes you have
Yeah.
like tags
Like
and
tags.
everything. None of them were on there.
Oh, you should create an account with Unplugged Book Box. You don't have to get a subscription, but they're doing special editions of Julie's books. Mm-hmm.
I will have to look into this. She's
So
gonna
I'm just gonna probably get the because I used to get them monthly subscribed to me, but
okay.
I'm just gonna buy because I didn't cancel. I canceled the subscription, but I still have my login to get in, so I'm gonna just because I can still purchase stuff from their shop. I still have my
Nice.
account, so I'm just gonna buy all 3 of them.
You know what books we should read if you haven't already? And I think we talked about
What?
this the last time, but I think you may not have been. I think you didn't like it. Never mind. It was
Which
going to be
one?
A Cruel Prince by Holly Black.
I'm not opposed to it. I think
That was
I went kind of the same thing with Legends and Lattes. People were hyping it up so much to me that I
uh,
was like, I
expecting
went in with
greatness.
the wrong expectations.
You know a book we should read? It's been a
Which
long
one?
time. I'd love to reread it. This one right here. Starless
I've
Sea.
never read it. I want to try it though because I did not like. Okay, this might get me kicked off booktube.
Don't make me remove you from the channel by saying you didn't like The Night Circus. Don't tell me that. I knew exactly where you're going. I'm like, she only has one other book.
But because it's so different, I'm curious to try it.
Okay.
It's so different from.
That might be something we can read.
I remember reading The Night Circus and I'm like, what the hell is happening? I'm so confused.
What? Oh my god! I thought it was genius. Yeah.
Again, that might be just the wrong timing thing. Like, at the time I had a lot going on.
True.
I was trying to focus on it, and it was a lot at that time.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay. We might gotta. I read. How'd you feel about The Night Circus, Liz? If you liked it, maybe I'll add that in because it is a standalone. So.
But I'm not opposed to
bonuses.
We tried this, and I like this better than
True.
So I'm not opposed to trying another author. I just give authors 2 chances. Like if I don't.
Okay, that's good to know. So you know what? Here's what we can do. If we did want to do a series, kind of like what we're doing with Bromance Book Club, where we do like one a month versus back to back to back to back, minus the Meghan Quinn books that we have coming up, we'll try to maybe put in like a standalone. So we're making it through a series, but at least we have something fresh that's one and done. And then that way, because I feel like it should be easier.
You know what we should look at? It's called Guns of the Dawn by Adrian Tchaikovsky. It's chunky. It's like 600 pages, but it's a standalone.
That's a lot. But I mean, if we go back to bi-weekly,
Maniscalco's new book is 600 and some pages.
It's like 570. It might be 600. I don't know. I think I saw somewhere she said 570, but you know that they're not done yet.
It said 606.
What? Okay, it's probably 606 then. But yeah, some ideas. You guys let us know. I think we all have opinions, but I ask this now when there's like 3 people watching and then people on the replay are like typing in the comments to do something and I'm like, I don't pay attention to the comments. Super sorry. I don't. Well, that and it's just like I really just I care too much. If people don't like me, it hurts my feelings.
Oh my God.
I'm just gonna stay away from that. And the people that don't like me, I'm just gonna pretend they don't exist. Sorry. I mean, you're entitled to your own wrong opinion, as Nicole would say. But okay, Shannon's down for it.
Well, because it's a book about books. I'm down with the book about books.
Oh. Okay, love The Night Circus. Okay, so we're gonna have to add that in because I've been wanting to reread it. I did read it for book club a few years ago, and I was nearly in a car accident while listening to this at 3 speed, so my brain did not pick up a lot of things. So I'd love to give it another shot.
Do they actually have it on paperback now? Because I remember they had.
They've got to.
Because honestly, for for chunky books like that, I prefer to read it in paperback.
True. Okay.
When they're thick, it's hard to hold when they have when they're really big.
Yeah, it's true. I don't know if people don't like me, but I just assume that there's probably people that don't love my opinions because I just say whatever's on my mind, and I wouldn't say I'm uneducated.
Maybe that's why we get along so well, because I do the same thing.
I don't pay attention to the negative stuff in the world a lot of times, so everything is usually just like woo over my head.
I'm trying to think of other standalones that I really liked.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be opposed to. I don't know if you're okay with this, but I wouldn't be opposed to maybe historical fiction, kind of not in the same vein as this, like a historical fiction.
Oh yeah.
Like a not with the same ideas as the one as London Seance Society, but a different type of, maybe a book from the 1920s or something.
Oh yeah.
Or based in the 1920s.
Ooh, based in the 1920s. We'll have to look. I'm sure I've got a bunch of standalones back here. Yeah,
I
my
just have to. I
romances,
had to start digging.
y'all better beware because you're the first that are gonna go. Sorry.
I wouldn't want. Maybe this is just an idea. Like maybe throw in a Harlequin because they're short.
Oh yeah, well we talked about doing that. Yeah. Things besides
If we have to do back to back weeks again, if something happens with one of our schedules, Harlequins are short, so
true,
that's just an
and I
idea.
do like the idea, Liz, about branching out into something other than romance because I like a good romance story, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's just like I want like a good, I would say like a fantasy, but sometimes those can be tricky. Like they can almost be too dry. Um,
Well,
but
especially
I would
with
like
book ones because like book ones usually have to set up the world.
true,
You
true.
know.
Thanks.
I'm curious. I'm curious about Fourth Wing because the second one's coming out in November.
Yeah. Okay. So I heard that. So what we could do is if we started in January, we could finish a few of the series that we kind of start now. What we've
But
been trying to
everybody
do, try to keep up with
who
it.
has the same taste in fantasy as me is loving it. So
Oh,
I'm
good.
excited.
I've
I'm
read
excited.
nothing about it, but I had a friend that started it, and like that evening, she was like, "Okay, I finished." And I'm like, "Well, we're
Well,
not talking about this book
I've
until
read Rebecca
October."
Yarros's
So,
other work. So like she writes
oh,
like hard hitting romances that make you cry, but they're so good.
oh yeah, yeah,
And I was like, she's writing fantasy? What? Like, yes, please.
yeah. Missed the book. What book? The Fourth Wing. That's true. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I would want to stick more to like a standalone story. So I think that's going to have to be like more fiction. Some of them might have to be rom-coms, but I do like the idea of just kind of mixing it up with genres. Um I'm just really
Yeah,
bad
same.
about finding things cuz in my mind the problem is if I don't know what it's about, very nervous to try new things, but I should cuz I like this one, pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Um so that's yeah, perfect. Fourth Wing is on YouTube. On YouTube, like the audiobook? I think that would be
Is it
audiobook.
really?
Here's a fun story, and I think we talked about this last time too. I put a hold on this during our last live, and it told me that I was like 4 months out, and I go, perfect. I don't
Did
need
it
it
come
for
in?
4 months. The next day, I
Yeah.
get a thing that says, "Hey, you can go ahead and get this book now." And I go, "What happened to my 4 month wait? Like I'm not
I
ready for
told
this
you
yet."
it happens every time. You have 6 months, you're like, oh okay, a week later it shows up. You're like, what the hell?
Yeah, too many people are pushing it.
I have a couple ideas for like um single cozies that aren't in a series yet.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we should do cozier too. We haven't done a few of those. But the problem with cozies is that they're
It's
usually,
a
I know that you said
series.
that you found a standalone, but they're usually part of a full blast series. I can't
Hold
do
on.
that
Let,
sometimes.
let be. Hold on. It's got a cat on the cover.
Ah,
Okay.
that's a
Uh,
good sign. 2 weeks ago
pulls.
for YouTube.
It's called The
Okay,
Moonshine Shack Murder by Dana Kelly.
interesting. Could do that. Yeah, yeah,
And it's actually the reason I wanted to check it out is it's like based 20 minutes from where I live.
yeah. Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yeah.
Cats on the cover, always a good sign. Agreed. I really want to read this book too. I didn't have it displayed more than the reason that I just wanted to do it.
Which
I
one?
don't know what it's about, but the author's name was Jennifer, so I was like, that's cool. The thrilling first novel in the Crown of Shards epic fantasy series combines magic, murder, and adventure when an unlikely member of the royal family suddenly becomes a contender in a clash for the crown. Dun dun
I you know what I do? I just look at like what's available right now on my library app.
dun. I should do that. Yeah, sometimes I need that long wait for the library holds.
Exactly.
I tried to put a couple of like holds on there and I'm like, as soon as they come in, I'm gonna read them. I gotta stop like pushing them because I don't remember who said it a couple weeks ago, but once you push it, it's like I'm never gonna read it. And it's so true. I just need to
Mhm.
start reading some of those, but then I need to read the
But they
books that
all
I
come in at
have.
the same time. That's the problem. Like
Yeah,
I have, like right now, I have 5 books on hold. They're all going to come in within like a 4-day period.
that's too many books in a 4-day period. Oh, the
Exactly.
Higgins and Hawks. Oh, I was like, "Where's my phone?" Right in front of my face.
Which one?
I just want to put things down, so I'm like, we'll see about them. I mean, yeah, we'll
We
have to kind of touch base with everyone, see how we're feeling closer to the new year. Um, is it the Perceptions trilogy? Wait, hold on. About the Higgins and Hawk series. You even told me what it was, and I just
never heard
totally
of
failed
that one.
to. Ooh, that's got like 10 books in it. That might not be the one you're talking about. Let's see. It could be. Doo, 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 doo. These covers are pretty though. I love how this usually always I found it. Death at the Tavern is the first book. Ooh, 4.25 stars for everybody out there. We'll have to see.
I like I want to try the one you can't spell treason without T. It's like a cozy mystery.
Interesting.
And
Okay.
I think maybe there's 2 in the series, but I think they're like companion books where you can read them separately. And it's not
Okay.
like they're interconnected, but it doesn't affect you reading it separately.
British royal family. Oh yeah. Okay. Catherine and Eugene in an epic battle. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I can get the
Yeah.
Starless Sea right now on from my library. It's available.
Yeah, it's been out for a while, so it should be not that hard to get. And that might be another thing to look at or consider is books that have been out for a while so that they're easier
I
for
want to
everybody
do
to
more like
get.
I wanted to do more backlists because they're not backlists, but they're easier to get through your library if they are a little bit older. And I'm not talking like old. I'm like maybe 2021 and back.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll have to see. I'll have to go through my not a series list because I have one. The fun thing about that though is some of them end up like becoming a series and I'm just like, why? And we had this discussion last week too. So I'm not going to beat a dead horse.
No, you're fine.
Um but yeah, before I forget, while we're all still here, does anyone have anything else about the London Seance Society? Yeah, even with spoilers, I just don't think that there was a ton to talk about.
We had that standalone, that Lonely Hearts book club that I got you for Christmas,
Oh
right?
yeah. And I did buy that one too. I think that might be a fiction book.
Hmm.
Um
I think it's like 400 pages. It's not that long.
I needed that one, Shannon, just because sometimes I just don't want to get myself involved. And that was the problem. So I know that I haven't been unwrapping books lately. I'm probably going to have to unwrap all of them. But next year when I do it, they are going to be fully just standalone books. Or maybe just Harlequin, because I've got so many of these Harlequin books that I just need to read a bunch of them. Yes. Just need to read a bunch. And next time I saw someone do this on I think it was Pinterest. They did their whole library. I can't do that. That's too much. Where they'll wrap all of the books and they'll put a number on it and they'll just read whatever number they pick. I
That would
have
give
too
me
much experience for
anxiety.
that to work. um, but yeah, should always. Alicia, you have the same phone cover as Liz.
Do I? I love this one.
Try and see how things go and adjust. Yep. Yeah, and it's not that I just the thought process was there and I probably could have stuck with it. It's just my problem is I started to put too many series in there and now I'm reading like a bunch of book ones in a series and we're not going anywhere. So Jen needs to fix that. That's a me problem.
But we're
And I
all
just want to
guilty
be
of
more
it. I did it
productive.
last year.
I probably should only do 12 next year. That way, if I do throw in one with the series or put like a second book in the series, but give myself time to read more if I want to. Um, Yeah, because the first book of the year I read was The Chief, and I was like, this is really good. I unwrapped that Cozy Mystery by
Hmm.
Jen McKinley, and I wanted to read that. Haven't gotten to it because I'm thinking to myself, well, I start this, I'm gonna want to read 25 of these, and I just don't have that kind of time right now. So yeah, we're gonna get interesting. Harlequin, okay. Yeah, we'll have to find out. We'll have to see, because I mean there's always a bunch. Um But even those have some series. But I like those ones too because you can read one and then
It doesn't matter what
Depends
number
if
it
you
is
where
because
you
they're
go.
they're slightly connected, but not by much.
Exactly. All right. Well, I don't think anyone else has much to say about this book, and that's okay. But once again, just as a reminder, we are going back to Wednesdays. Woohoo! Look forward to seeing another post tomorrow because I am a whore for Canva and I was ready to create a thumbnail for anything. So there will be something posted. Hopefully I remember to post it. Should. But yes. So I know we talked about this a way long time ago, but we are going back to Wednesdays and our next book, which is 2 weeks away. I thank you all that have stuck with us for 3 weeks, whether you popped into the comments, whether you watched on the side, whether you added it to your TBR, and you'll get to it later. I know it's a lot to ask to go book to book to book, so much appreciation there. We're going to give you a little bit of a break, and we should be fairly bi-weekly, every other week, for the rest of the year. There may be 1 or 2 times where we try to go back to back and then we'll give you a week break
Right.
in between. I don't think we'll go 3 hard unless if they're going to be like crazy small novellas. Or if Julie gives us a surprise book and then we have to read that. So
Yes.
you know us, we'll have to do that. But
Like, I was even thinking, like, maybe not sticking with duologies, but, like, maybe picking a couple duologies because it's only 2 books.
duologies would be good. Yeah. I mean, I think there was that one, although our book club in real life. I finally got our book club after reading Love Flushed and having that in real life book club. I'm like, I'm gonna try and start ours back up again. It's probably gonna end up being a wine night, so won't hurt
So if I
for us
lived
to all
closer, I would come.
we could all buddy read it, but yeah, we'll have to pick a few duologies if anything. Um, but at least next week, this will be the last book that's out right now in the Bromance book club. So we will be all caught up. I haven't read this, so I do not know what to expect at all.
Charles already
But
started it, and he said that we're gonna love it.
good. I'm excited. We got him
He
sucked
messaged
into
me
it.
like 2 nights ago. He's like, "Oh my god, you're gonna love it." I'm like, "Yes."
Most excited. But yeah, so we're gonna do that one, and then I think we're gonna finish out our last one that we've started. I don't think that there are any others recently.
The Mansplainer.
Yeah, Mansplainer, which I also did not realize, but I think because the guy for that particular series, they have to fall in love before Christmas. So I think we have 2 Christmas in July books, and we didn't even plan it.
No,
Well,
that
one of
wasn't
them
on
we did. The other one was a
purpose.
surprise. But yeah, super excited. But if you all want to take a screenshot, I never know how long to hold it, so we're there.
Yeah.
I love how I do that every time. Sorry if that's annoying, but y'all are probably prepared for it now. Oh, we got a few comments. Let's see what we have here. It would take me a year to put the number. Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Um,
I'm with you, Liz, 100%.
yeah, I have over 500 and I want to put like ebooks in there. So maybe I'll like wrap a book and then just put a post-it that says this is an ebook. You got to find an ebook to read. Although because I'm trying to keep that Kindle streak going strong, I've actually been really good at my Kindles.
Oh, by the way, on the 30th, it's called Stuff Your Kindle Day. All these different Kindle books will be $1 or less on Amazon.
On the 30th of June,
Mhm. It's
I
called
will have to clear my schedule.
Google it. It's called Stuff Your Kindle Day. I just found out about it today, and I'm like, that's bad for me.
Please send me a text reminder that says stuff your Kindle, and I'll be like, I
30th.
remember. I'm so sorry.
30th.
Yes, there's a very detailed description of the rest of the year, pretty much. I didn't flesh out the dates for October, November, or December. I have an idea what October is going to be, but I have to see what November looks like because I don't want to push us too close to the holidays because I know that that gets a little bit tricky. And
Right.
then a lot of those books that come out, definitely want to make sure that you're paying attention to Harlequin's website because for Julie's books, if you can get them faster, it will be super simple.
You can get them. You can get them a month. You can get them the month before. Like, let's say, for example, we're waiting. I think her books come out in October, right?
Yeah.
Harlequin, I think. So they'll be available as of September 1st on the Harlequin website.
So yeah, we'll keep reminding you about that. So yes. And honestly, I need Christmas in July because it hit 110 today, and that's just
It
gross.
was only 75, but with the humidity, it was 90.
Yeah,
Like
no,
the
I
temperature
can't.
wise has been like if it was just temperature, no humidity, it would be beautiful. But the humidity has
The
been
humidity is killer.
through the damn roof, and I'm like, with someone with asthma, I can't even leave my house.
Oh yeah, no,
I'm
that's
like,
rough.
hell, I can't breathe out here.
Yeah. Desert Island Duke is part of a series. It's the Ruthless Rivals one. You know what books we should read as well? They're kind of romance, but I think they're historical fictions just because it's up
Which
next to
one?
my Kate Bateman books. Bringing Down the Duke by Evie
I
Dunmore.
want to read those. You bought me all of them. I want to read them.
Those are so good. So yeah, we'll
You bought
we'll
me
have to
all of them.
figure
I
some
want to.
things out. We'll try to mix up some genres just to kind of keep things fresh and interesting for everybody. As you come up with ideas, DM the book club. I'll try to pay attention there.
There's a
If you
cute.
leave a
There's a
comment
cute one.
somewhere, I'll see it there.
Yeah, there's a cute one that just came out on my library app. It's called Meet Me in the Margins.
I've seen
You've
I've
got
seen that
Mail Meets the
before.
Proposal.
377 Liz, I really want to get that far. I'm currently at I think like 170, which I'm really nervous when Comic-Con comes up that I'm going to forget to read just a few chapters, or just a chapter a day. So if I can make it past Comic-Con, I can do anything. Yes, but that's really incredible. That's way to go, you. That's a
That's
whole year. That's a
awesome.
book. That's time on your Kindle every day a year. Yay. Um, yeah, once I lose that streak, I may never pick up my Kindle again, is how I feel about it.
I'm just scouring my library app to see what else is available that we can throw in.
Well, you shoot me a text. Anyone in the comments, feel free to comment on like Facebook or Instagram, a post somewhere. Maybe I'll make like a suggestion post
Like
closer to
with
the
a little
beginning of
like
the year.
suggestion box where you can type in that kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I'll just randomly like repost it being like, "Hey, don't forget about this." Cuz yeah, I would always love. That's the thing is when it comes to picking other genres, I don't go into it very often. I will be 100% honest. Please don't put anything horror because I will shoot it down immediately. I just don't sleep at night if it scares
What
me.
about
So,
suspense? Like let's say a Harlequin suspense novel. Are you
I
okay with
can do
that?
suspense. Horror is not like if
That's
it's
fair.
meant to like traumatize you, I can't.
Yeah.
Please stay away from anything rapey. I don't know if you guys all have triggers, but definitely keep that in mind. If there is something triggery, just put it in there and then we can kind of decide from there. Um,
I have
it should
the
count.
book that's a standalone that I'm reading right now that might is very political intriguey.
Okay, you send it to me. We'll see. Yeah, so I think it does count whether you're on your actual Kindle, as long as you have the Kindle app on your phone. Which is part of your question. I guess I should read better. I always make sure that I read a few pages within that app just to make sure it logs some kind of movement throughout whatever story I'm having. Granted, it takes me like 3 months to finish a book sometimes, but my streak is strong. Um, Yes, everywhere you read. I've never had a problem with it. Sometimes I only have my phone with me. Um, so I kind of do it that way. I have faith in I'm gonna try, guys. I am trying to keep it up. If there's a specific genre that you think about, let me know. But yeah, I'll try to, even if we do something with romance, maybe try to find something a little bit different than what we've been doing, or I'll try to find something completely different. I don't know how people feel about YA, but I know that they can be
I still have that Fable and what was the other one? Namesake duology?
namesake. Yeah, that duology. I also have Daughter of the Pirate King, which I've been hearing a lot about, and I kind of want to read that too. So,
Okay.
I mean, those are YA. We've done them before, but we'll just look into. We'll mix it up. I will find a way. But let's see. Okay, I know we're gonna just get used to me doubting my own self and
You got it.
questioning whether I figured it all out by now. It just again always feels way too short. Oh, Shannon has read it. Might have to get it in there for that one. I mean, I honestly bought those on site because if you look at the spines, Fairy Loot, I didn't even know what it was about. I just basically saw this on one of the pictures and I said, sold. You put a freaking ship on your spine or your edges. I'm a whore for a good stenciled edge. Okay, guys?
What about where was it?
Oh, we could also read some manga too. Get some
Yeah,
of that
I'm
in
down
there.
for
I know that we did that a little bit. I'm not sure how everyone feels about that particular thing, but you'd almost have to read like one or two and be like, hey, read the first two of this series. Okay. Oh wait, what's Shannon's down to read some manga. All right, so yeah, we'll have to find a few just to maybe throw something new and different in there. But yes, I appreciate everyone that has joined me here today. Thank you to my lovely co-host. There we go. It's always backwards. I can never do it.
I know.
Thank you for everyone in the comments. I think I just said that, but thank you again because you guys are wonderful. Thank you everyone for watching later. Don't forget to like the video. The description box shows a ton of what we have planned for the rest of the year. Sorry to plan so far out, but it just so happens that it happens that way. If you have suggestions, please reach out to us on social media because, again, as much as I would love to come back to these, I don't. I can't stand to hear my voice. I'm sure it'll start playing as soon as I check to see if there's
Oh no,
anything new.
I hit pause the minute it loads. I can't. The sound of my own voice makes me want to cringe. Bless you.
Thank you. I really hope I hit mute in time because I sneeze very loud.
Good.
Lots of good ideas. And I'm happy to hear more. Like if you guys can think of something, if you want us to do more fiction, I mean, we can definitely look into it.
Have you read The Bear and the Nightingale?
Yes, that's a good series. I would reread that
I've
one.
never read
I
it,
think I still have it.
and I really want to.
Okay. Well, send me a text.
I do.
Send me an IM. I'll create a post, okay? I will get on Canva and I'll create something that says, give us your suggestions.
Okay. Because that's a series. I mean, it's technically a series, but it's only 3 books. So
true. Exactly. Thanks, Vampire Pat, for joining us. I'm just going to re-W that because that's what Nicole always says. I appreciate the dedication, waking up or staying up, whichever one it is.
go to sleep.
Please grab some coffee.
You need her sleep. Love you.
Yeah.
Go to sleep.
Oh, she's going to go make a cup of tea. 3:07. Oh, make it a strong cup of tea.
You're sleep tonight, aren't you?
A cup of tea sounds really good. I might have myself a chamomile tea, which I don't normally like, but lemon chamomile is nice.
I've been doing like a peach ginger.
I have a peach ginger turmeric tea, which is to die for. They sell it at our grocery store, and it's the only time I can drink it, but it's really nice.
It's I just like I like using ginger teas because I always have like, not to get too personal, but I also have like a lot of stomach issues, so it helps.
It does. It's nice to help settle the stomach. If I ever have like a big meal and I'm not feeling mint tea, I try to do something with ginger because I know that will help everything.
Yeah.
But yes, we'll have to have a tea time. Another conversation. But yes, thank you everybody for showing up. I think we're gonna call it here, but we will see you in 2 weeks. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it. You guys have a great night. Bye.
Bye.